Hello, hello everybody. I am so sorry that this is on a huge delay. But it is Tuesday. It is still Traditional Sampler Weekly Block Adventure Tuesday. The very last of the blocks. We did create the last block last week. This week we were supposed to be able to get it all put together, and as you can see, mine is still a work in progress. I've been trying to work on it all day today. Kind of got tied up with our FOF training last week. We had our FOF educator and we got through all of that and put us a little behind, and then just some personal things going on. Got behind with that. You know, life happens, right? So anyway, I want to go ahead and try to finish up. As you all know, we have an eager beaver out there. Nora Cleary, she brought her piece in. The top is all together. She does not have it quilted and binded yet, but go you, Nora. I just want to make sure that everybody, if you haven't seen it, it is on our Facebook page, and I think I might have put it, I can't recall, I think I put it in our newsletter. But anyway, Nora was the first one to have her blocks all put together. She didn't need me. She doesn't need me, you know, so, which many of you maybe you don't need me. But for those that do, I'm here for you. So I am going to go ahead and just kind of go over a few more things that we already went over, but I want to make sure that you do understand before. I know I've had many people calling, many people sending me messages that they are afraid to trim their blocks. So we're going to touch base on that again too, because we kind of have to do that before we can move on. So you got to get over that hurdle, and if you just follow the instructions that I gave last week, then so depending on how your blocks are, I had some blocks that were a little shy. I had 2 blocks that were great big. And so I was going to lose my points in some of those. And I agree with Laura, who said that she just doesn't want to lose those points. And hers were measuring at about 12.5. And as long as all of your blocks are measuring the same, you can't have a 12.5 block and a 12-inch block, okay? You're going to have to make it all the same for this to be able to work out. So they're supposed to finish at 12 inches, and it's up to you if you have it a little bit bigger and all of your blocks are the same thing and you want to do 12.25. Just keep in mind that the measurements that I gave with the borders last week, that you're going to have to kind of make a little bit of an adjustment, possibly, depending on how much, how big that you're making them. So, because the measurements that they gave, that I gave to you, that they gave to me, that is for a 12-inch finished block, okay? So what I have done here is I have gone through, I have trimmed all of my blocks to the 12-inch, and I started to put them together, and I want to just show you so that you know how these are going to go together. As you can see, it's kind of at a diagonal, and we take and we start. This is how bad this is, guys. Remember last week when I couldn't find my other 2 blocks down here on the bottom? I haven't even had a chance to look for them yet. So I may just end up cutting and just doing those all fresh. But you're going to take and you're going to do, let me do this kind of slow. After we have our 12-inch blocks, they're all sized, right? You have them placed where you want them. Make sure that you have taken a picture, that you have stepped back to look at this picture, and make sure that these blocks are where you want them. you can also, on your phone, if you know how to access it, you can also turn that picture to black and white. And that way when you're looking at your picture, if you see a whole bunch of big blobby blob at the top and not a whole lot of darkness at the bottom, you're probably going to want to bring some of that darkness down to the bottom to try to even it out. So if you're not real good about trying to judge how your colors are laying in your blocks, take a picture, turn it to the black and white, and look at it to see your shading in there, to see how that's going to work out. Because you may want to go ahead and switch them around a little bit. Once you start sewing, they're stuck, okay? Unless you want to bring Jack out and you guys just have a party. But personally myself, I try to stay away from Jack. But what we're going to do here is, after we get all of our blocks, and they are the 12-inch finish, or all the same, 12 1/4, but they all have to be 12 1/4. Whatever it is that you're going to do, you have to make sure that they're all the same size. And we are going to start, you can start at the top, or you can start, I started down here at the bottom just because it was closest to me. But as you can see here, all right, I have taken and I have put my two together. I'm going at a diagonal, so when I find that piece or create another, I will have my bottom piece down here that's also going to attach. I highly, highly, highly recommend that as you pull, that you pull directly from your wall, okay? Meaning, if I were to go ahead and start these blocks here, I'm going to take this one and I am going to put my fingers right here. I'm going to flip this down on top. I'm going to grab this right here and come over immediately, lay it down, measure it up, and I'm going to pin right where my sew spot is. So starting in the center, remember we always start in the center, and then measure up my other two. And get my pins in there so that I know this is where I am supposed to be making my stitch to hold that together, okay? Once I get that together, then I'm going to bring this back over. Let's act like that it's all sewn together. I'm putting it right back where it was, and then I'm going to reach up here and I'm going to flip this one over. Same thing, grab it and take it over and pin it, okay? And so I'm going to do that all the way down the chain. And I'm going to set this one over here for just a moment. Wow, my wall looks pretty bare. So you want to make sure that you are bringing your piece directly back over, lining it back up, because it is so easy to flip. And if you flip in some of these pieces, it doesn't matter, you know, which way, but if you have your basket and it's upside down, you're not going to be very happy with that. So make sure that you are grabbing your pieces as you do each one. Now I will tell you, I'm stitching mine. All of these are on the icon because we just had our FOP educator, and so we have the machines sitting over here in the room, and so I went over and I'm utilizing those machines, and I sat down and hooked mine up because it has the IDT system. That's the automatic walking foot. All I have to do is pull it down and engage it, and there she goes. Liz, I know, is going to be so excited when she gets hers because it is a tremendous help. I mean, you don't realize until I finish and I go work on another machine and it's not pulling it through, and I'm like, what's going on here, you know? So it really does make a difference. If anybody ever has a chance and they want to come in and try one of our cloth machines, wow, you will fall in love. promise you that. But there is a stitch, which all the machines should have this stitch. It's kind of a reinforced stitch. I know on the Viking machines, I believe that it's like stitch number 2. I know it was stitch number 2 on this one, but I think it's also stitch number 2 on the Viking machines. But it looks like a little double stitch. But that's what, when I put my pieces together, I'm doing that reinforced stitch just to give it just an extra. I mean, instead of just one single, stitch right up the seam there, I'm doing it as a double. I brought this over because I was going to show you, but I forgot to stitch it. But I will show you another thing too. When you do the stitch, I've got this ironed down. I can go ahead and let me bring this over closer. And okay, Tim, can you let me see if I can lift this up and then you can see. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well. And it's getting dark, guys, so we don't have the lighting like we usually do. Can you see this very well? It's kind of shadowing, isn't it? It's just what I'm trying to show you is just a good heavy stitch to hold all of that. Can you see it? He's saying he can see it, so I'm hoping you guys can. And if you can't and you're interested in finding out what it is I'm talking about, and you want to stop in, I mean, I am more than happy to help anybody with my tactics. And I want to show you guys, because everybody was kind of questioning what I was talking about, the whole back. So I want you guys to look at your backs if you did not do this method. And then I want you to look at this one and see how clean that is on the back. And I'm not fighting with all of the seams. Oops, that's a clear one. But see all the different seams and stuff down in here? I'm not fighting with those. And then I can also show you, maybe you can see it. Can you tell this? You can see where I open, when I open my seams here. And this was early on when I was still trying to show you, you can press to the light side, dark side, right side, left side, whatever. And see here, and you see how there's like that lump in there. Can you tell the difference? Tim says he can. So, but you can see, and see here on the rail fence down here, see how that, you can kind of see that it's kind of lumpy in there. But in the way that I open my seams, it's still all flat. So that's just, I'm just trying to share some of the things that I do, and that way you guys can kind of determine what works for you. What works for me may not work for you. You may not like that. You may have your own that you find, and that's perfectly fine. And I want to show you, well, if you all know, we've been talking about the quilts for kids at Christmas, okay? These are just all random. I just grabbed these and just started putting them together, right? And so if you can see the back, I'm not doing that with this because it's just something I'm just kind of throwing together, okay? So, see all the seams and everything, and it's just a mess. So you look at these, let me put this over like that. Look at the difference. Wait, are you able to see that? See the difference? It's just so much easier to work with this, and when I'm putting this together, oh my geez, it's like butter, spreading butter on bread. And so I'm just trying to show you different ways to just try to make it really nice and easy for you. So with all of that, I'm trying to like throw all this together here so that I can fill everybody's questions, because things keep popping in my head. They're like, oh yeah, somebody asked about this, and but I hope I'm not getting too off track. And so I want to make sure if you did do the backing, please let me know what you think about it, if you liked it, or if you're kind of like, yeah, I think I'll skip it next time. And I'm not offended by that. Hey, you know, you do you. That's what I always say. It's your quilt, your blocks. You do whatever you want to do with them. But I do hope that you are listening to me when I say to go ahead and at least put them on your triangle pieces and your blue blocks, because you will tell a difference. And when I'm putting all of these together, it is like sewing two pieces of paper. I mean, they're, you know, and it's not real thick. People are like, was it going to make it really, you know, heavy? No, not really. I mean, and if anything, I mean, you use a lighter batting and you're good to go. I will tell you, I did not put it on my border pieces. Somebody asked about that. Are we supposed to put it on the border pieces? I don't put it on the border pieces, but I do starch. Okay, so it does make it a little heavier. Like this is starched, right? And you hear that? I mean, and it's heavier. Or it's not heavier. It's not. I don't want to say that. It's more manageable than trying to use just a floppy piece of fabric. So when I go to put this piece onto the pieces that I have the backing, it is just going to be so much simpler than trying to use just the fabric that's just going to kind of flow all over the place when you're trying to stitch it together, okay? So again, I want to give you your measurements if you have not got here yet. So your finished block should measure 12 inches. And remember when I said last week about I use wax paper or parchment paper. So just regular parchment paper, you know, that you bake your goodies on. And when I do this, so I measure it to my 12, all right, all the way around. So you want to make sure that it is 12, because this is going to be the 12 of your block. And when you do it, you're going to take and you're going to fold it in half. This is after you have it cut to the 12. Okay, you're going to fold it in half. You're going to go over here and you're going to fold it in half again. Okay, then we're going to take the top two pieces here and you're going to fold it towards you, just like this. Press that down, and then you're going to pick it all up, turn that over so that you can flip the piece away from you. All right, so then you should end up with your triangle piece. When you open this all up, you can see that you have a center right here. Mine's got a little pokey hole because I've already used it, but you're going to line this up with your center of your block. And if you do not have a center yet of that block, after it has measured 12 inches, okay, this is all at 12 inches because, you know, we want to make sure that we're as close as we can get, because all of this is, we're going to take the excess off. So we're going to find the center. So you just take and you fold your block in half and then turn it and fold it in half again, but make sure that it's along the fabric. So if you did the woven fusible, you're not going by the woven fusible, matching that up. You want to find the edge of your fabric to the other edge of your fabric when you're folding that over. That is your meeting point to be able to get to that center. And then when you find your center, this goes with a pin. Oh, I've got pins everywhere. You're going to take and put your pin in the center, okay? And then you're going to put the center, I'll tell you what, I got one right here. So right here, I mean, it's already, I've got a center already made. So we're going to take and see how this lines up. And we're going to put this right in the center of this, okay? And what I do is I kind of push this through. It's not wanting to go through. Find that center. And we're going to push that through, lay that down, and then we're going to take our, I don't have my ruler here, but you're going to take your long 6.5 by 24.5 ruler, and you're going to line this up, you're going to lay that on there, and you're going to slice that off. And you're going to just take and turn it all the way around, but every time you turn it, you want to make sure that this is not moved, that it is still lined up where it was before, so you're not getting a, you know, it's 12 inches one place, but not in the other. So you're going to take and you're going to cut, and preferably along the, right at the edge of your paper. If you trim off any of your paper, you want to make sure that you create a new piece of parchment paper, okay? So hopefully that helped. Hopefully you get that. If you don't, please call me and ask, because sometimes I just kind of go way out here and I get ahead of myself or not catch up with myself, and I don't know what I'm saying. So hopefully you understand me. And we, you know, if not, just give me a call and I will catch you up on that. Okay, so we have our blocks. Now we are talking about our triangle pieces. If you have not cut your triangle pieces, which is that outside border, okay, you're going to have your large outer triangles that are over here, and you want that to be 18.25 by 18.25, okay? And when you do that, you're going to cut both diagonal directions to give you 4 pieces. So you are going to want 4 of those, or let's see, yeah, because you'll get both diagonal, yeah. You want 10 of those. So that's going to be 2 extra, right? Wait. 4, 8. What was I thinking there was 1 extra? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 2 extra. So you want to be able to cut to where you're going to have 4 out of each one of those, 18.25 by 18.25. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to line those up. Now, if they are directional, keep in mind that they are directional, and you want to line. You want to make sure that when you're doing it, that you're lining it up to when you cut those, and you place those back up here, that they are going to be where you want them. That, you know, you're not going to have, well, I know a couple of the girls have butterflies. If you happen to use the butterflies on that border, you know, you don't want your butterflies flying like this, right? So, well, maybe you do, I don't know. But just keep that in mind, and then at the top, in the corner and the bottom corners here, those are 9 3/8 inch by 9 3/8 inch, and those you're just going to cut diagonally in half. Oh, I'm going straight down. Diagonally in half, okay? So you'll cut 2 of those to be able to give you the 4 pieces that you're going to need for that. Again, I highly recommend on those to use the woven fusible, and you would do that when they are a block before you would cut them. So just keep that in mind. Now, coming over to our borders. So we have, can you show the picture, how they have it over there. So the red color, pink color, whatever color you want to, coral, whatever you want to call that, on our original photo, that is called our inner border, okay? And the blue is the outside border. On the inner border, you're going to have to look at your vertical and your horizontal. So you're going to have 2 different types of cuts, but you're going to have 2 of each one, because you have 2 sides and you have a top and you have a bottom, right? So on the inner. We're going to do the inner first. So I am going to use this yellow for my inner piece. When I went to try all of my different colors, and this was absolutely not the color I was planning on using, but when I auditioned all of my colors along with what I wanted for my border, they just did not work. I thought, oh, well, I definitely, you know, I was losing different colors, different places, or I was like really like all you saw was that color, but this one was very subtle and it just kind of pulled it all together and it worked. This has been my least favorite color in this piece, and it happens to now be the one that's going to work in my inner border. So the inner border, the horizontal border, okay, for the top and the bottom, it needs to be 2.5 inches by 55.5 inches. You're going to want 2 of those pieces. So you're going to have to, unless you have, what's our biggest piece here? About 70 inches, 72 inches. If you have a long piece that's 72.5 inches of fabric and you're just going to use one strip of that, okay, I call you crazy, but you know, I mean, some people don't like to piece, and some people they say they can see it and they don't want to do that. It's totally up to you what you want to do, but I mean, you're more than likely going to want to piece. And when you do piece, what I normally do is I try to do it at my center, and just kind of have it blend with everything. But you know, that is totally up to you, but you're going to need that to be 55.5 inches, and that's for your bottom inner and your top inner going horizontally, okay? So again, that's 2 pieces at 2.5 inches by 55.5 inches. And then we're going to come to the inner, or this one, inner vertical border. So that's these long blue ones right here, and those you need 2, and they're also 2.5 inches by 68.5 inches. Okay. Again, you know, if you want to do it at the middle, like at the center, to be able to put 2 pieces, 2 strips together, you know, that's totally up to you. And then we'll move on to our outer. So the green here is what we're classifying as our outer horizontal border. And this, you need 2 because we got a top and we got a bottom. So you need 2, and they're 5.5 inches by 65.5 inches. Okay. And then the outer vertical, they are also 5.5 by 72.5, and you need 2 of those. Now, if you wanted this to be a little bigger, you could most certainly do that. If you wanted your inner border to be 4 inches and your outer border be 8, you could certainly do that to increase the size of this quilt. But these are just the dimensions that are given for the finished block being 12 inches. Okay. Again, keep in mind, if you are making your block, you could do all of them to be 12.25, and that's what you want to do. Just try to allow for a little extra length in your pieces, okay? The overall size is supposed to be 65 by 82, which is about close to a twin size. And you will need a twin size batting for that. The twin size batting is 72 by 96. So if you add anything more than what these dimensions are here, you are going to want to probably move up to the full size, which is 96 by 96. And we do have all of our batting in stock here. I am using the summer, which is what I usually will use as the summer, because I do use the woven fusible on the back of my block, so it does help with that. But the summer is a nice weight, and to be able to make you a nice little throw, twin size, whatever you want to call it. And the binding, you're going to want to have enough binding for a 2 1/4 inch strip. So the pink going all the way around here, that's my binding. And you want it to be equaling at least 204 inches in length. So you are definitely going to have to piece some of those together. Since I do not have my completed quilt done, I'm probably going to I'm going to let this be the instructions for getting your pieces all put together, and then I'm going to keep working on mine, and we're just going to kind of do some little blurbs of, okay, here I am, I'm now, piecing my, putting my batting and my backing, together, and I'm sandwiching, getting ready to do my quilting, and I'm going to, do a little snippet on being able to do the quilting. My seasoned quilters out there, you, of course, you already know how this all works. And, if you want to go ahead and do that, then so be it. If you want to wait and see if there's anything that I may say that you didn't know, or you could just check back and maybe save it for the next one. But I will say that when you do get ready to put your pieces together, let me show you. So, as I said, when we go through and we do, like I started down here, you want to do your triangle with your square and then your triangle. And then you want to go down here after these 3 pieces are together, and you want to pull up your corner piece to be able to attach that, okay? And then you're going to go and you're going to do your next row, okay? And the next row, the next row, the next row. And when you get them all done, it's going to be just like we did with the blocks. With doing, our different pieces when we're piecing them, and, you get your little squares and then you're flipping it on top of the other. You're going to take and you're going to flip this up on top of here, and you're going to stitch straight down, okay? And then this is all going to flip onto here, and you're going to stitch straight down. Make sure that when you do this, because your blocks, you're going to have your points, okay? So you're going to want to make sure that you're going in and that these are all matching up so that you keep those all on point. Okay, so when we get all of that finished, and then we take our batting, and you want to make sure that you have a big enough space, whether it's your kitchen floor, your dining room floor, dining room table. You've got a huge dining room table. If you need to come in and lay it all out on our cutting table, and just you need something big enough. If you do it on your bed, make sure not to dig in too deep to attach your comforter to your quilt, because that's just a whole nother nightmare. So, preferably if you have some place that you can just lay it out, you want to make sure that you're smoothing everything out, and then take your, you have your backing. I just happen to think I don't have my backing yet. Okay, well, when I get my backing, so I haven't even got that far yet. So you'll want to lay your backing Then you're going to lay your batting. You're going to lay your batting on top of that. You're going to smooth it all out. You're going to lay your top on there, smooth it all out. And you want to have excess all the way around, because once we go through and we start doing our quilting, it's going to start sucking that all up. And you need to have that extra so that you have something to work with. And you want to start, very, very important. When you start, so we have quilting pins, okay? So you take these quilting pins and you are going to, your very first one should be right in the center. So find where your center should be and go ahead and, stick in the center, and then make sure that you're, as you're going, you're doing one of these numbers. Come over to the side, put your pin in, come over to the other side, put your pin, and you're just going to kind of work your way around. So what I normally do will go like in my center and then just kind of brush it out as I go, and then be able to put your pins. Fill it with pins, because it's not going to hurt anything. You want to make sure that it's in there, that it's secure. And like I said, when we go to do the quilting on these, we are going to pretty much do just like stitch in the ditch, which I will explain. Just keep watching for the follow-up video on being able to do the quilting. I'm going to keep working on it, because next week we start sampler 2, so I still got to get that made. And so I'm trying to hang in there and get it as quick as possible, guys. So just bear with me. I'm really trying here. And I know a lot of you came in, you got the book. Right now, again, we've sold out. I've got to order more books. I've got to order more rulers. This time, I don't know how many people are actually going to follow along with this, but if it's by what we've done, it's probably double than what we have right now. So, which is great, and I welcome everybody. I mean, even if you have the book and you're like, oh, I'm already started or whatever, I mean, great, but follow along with us and see how we're doing. One quick suggestion, I have people that are coming in that did get the book. In the book, it does, it's requesting that you use 18 fabrics, and they are different. Don't stress over that. I don't know what kind of look you want with this quilt, but I personally, I showed you was it last week before last? I don't know. It's all this time is running together to me. But I showed you that I'm using my Christmas fabrics, and they're like grays and black. It's Christmas, but it's not screaming Christmas. So, it's like my grays and blacks and reds and, just pretty, just modern, pretty. And I'm doing just what we did here. What we have, 6 colors. I think I had 6 colors. And I'm using those same colors throughout all of it. One block may need a 10-inch square, and a fat quarter and an 1/8 quarter. An 1/8 quarter. That's not a thing. An 1/8 piece. So you don't need all of these different colors unless you want to do that. Then that's totally up to you. And you want to make sure, you could even, if you had scraps, this would be a good scrap quilt if you want that look. Again, I have starched all my fabrics. That's what I do. And I can tell you that I struggled with the quilt for kids, because those are not, and they are just regular fabric, just strips. We just pulled them out and just started sewing them together. And when you get used to using starch and you go that route, yeah, you see the difference. You definitely see the difference. But I think it turned out okay. And also keep in mind that now until the week, is it the week of Thanksgiving or no, December, the end of November, that we are doing the Quilt for Kids, and it's like this week it's Thursday, and then next week it's Saturday. So it goes one week it's Thursday, the following week it's Saturday, and then Thursday and Saturday, Thursday, Saturday. Bring a covered dish. On Thursdays we have dinner, on Saturdays we have lunch. So we'd love for you to be able to join us and make these. If you do not want to come out, but you would like to make one, you have a bunch of scraps at home, you want to make one, hey, I welcome you. It does not matter the size, because kids are all sizes, and I mean we're making them all the way from baby to teen, like twin size. So I had my grandson in here, and I just kind of held that up to him, and he's 3, almost 4. It was a perfect fit. He would even have a couple of years to grow into that. So it doesn't matter, like we will find the people to be able to give that size to. So whatever you have and you want to make and bring in, thank you. All I can say is thank you for that. Okay, I hope that for right now, just getting you through how to assemble the pieces here, I hope that helps. Again, if anybody has any questions, please, please, please just call me. I know I am a very busy person, but I will make time for you. If you have a question, just send me a message, call me, stop in, whatever, and I will see what I can do to help you. That's what I'm here for, and I just want to help you guys sew, okay? And with that being said, this is our last, oh my goodness, this is our last drawing, guys. And the lucky person today, who does not love Reese cups? Ooh. I kind of saved those for last. So today's winner is going to win Reese cups. And then we're also, after we do this drawing, we're going to do our big. Remember last week when I said I'm going to do something special, and we're going to throw all the names in. I've been collecting them. As a matter of fact, I'll show you. See, look, 12 weeks worth right here. Can you see it? 12 weeks worth. And every week that you had your block in before midnight on Saturday, your name is in there. And for those of you that are doing 2, your name is in there a couple more times. So let's I guess get ready. This week, I think my people are fizzling out on me here. I hope you guys get caught up, because this is the whole idea. We don't want to not have a finished product, right? So Tim is going to do the drawing here. This is for block number 12, our last block. And it goes to
Debbie Bosworth.
Debbie Bosworth. Debbie, look at you. Looks like I'll be seeing you on Thursday, right? Debbie comes in on Thursdays, and she'll be able to get Reese cups. Don't share those at Luciana's with anybody. Keep them for yourself, and she'll be able to get her free yard of fabric, okay? So now, let's take all of these names. Watch me put them in. There we go. This is the big one. All right. Let Tim get his muscles ready here.
Where you pick?
I can't pick. Okay. Swirl it around in there. Okay. Then our grand prize winner goes to Terry Brand. Terry, look. Then this is from the block number 10, when you got your block in. So block number 10 got you in. How about that? See what I did there? Block number 10 got you in. All right. So Terry, hey, looks like I'll be seeing you. If I remember correctly, Terry lives in Greenwood. I think Terry lives in Greenwood. Yeah, so I guess.
Say what she won?
Huh?
What she win?
Yeah, oh yeah. Terry, you win a $50 gift certificate. Not too shabby. I might find some other little things to throw in there too, because you know this was. I had all these big plans. I was actually going to have like confetti and be able to throw it, and I was going to have balloons, and you know me, I mean, I'm the party girl, so I was going to do all these things, but it just didn't work out. Maybe with sampler number 2. That'll give me something to work on. So, and not only that, but when we finish that, that is the week of Thanksgiving. So, and not only that, not only that, but I'll have a break for a little while because we won't start the next one until after the holidays. I'm excited now. Okay, so I'll think about that. We'll have a little party. Oh, speaking of party, I almost forgot about this. If you finish you get all this finished, and I'm going to go ahead and say, because I kind of dropped the ball here and I'm behind too, let's say if you can get done and get your quilt in here by September 20th, whatever day that falls on, September 20th, and we will display your quilt, okay? We're going to display the quilts, and people, when they come in, they get to go around and vote on their favorite quilt. And we'll do like a People's Choice Award. How's that sound? I can't believe I forgot that. You know, when I'm up here, like I don't have a script. I just kind of, you know, free ball it. And you know, I'm just kind of out there and things pop in my head and I just say it. So, and it's kind of funny because Aubrey came to me today, who is now working with the radio station and talking to me and, you know, wanting to do some things. And, you know, she's like, oh yeah, well, you know, let's get you in there. Let's get you, you know, talk to you, interview. And that's going to take like a whole show, guys. You guys know me, I can talk. So that'd be interesting, but I'll let you guys know. I'll fill you in on that. So anyway, guys, it has been great. It has been real. Like I said, keep watching as I'm going to be working on this like a mad dog tomorrow so that I can try to get it to where I can demonstrate doing the stitch in the ditch and get you guys kind of going with that. So just keep watching as we get it done, and I'll post it on Facebook that it is on YouTube, so you guys can go check it out, okay? All right, well, it has been real. I hope everybody has learned something. I hope that you are continuing on with Sampler 2, because those are going to be some gorgeous quilts right there. And if not, we will have another that comes up after the holidays, like I said, and that's actually going to be a kit. They're supposed to be coming in, I believe, in December. So just keep watching on that too if you're interested. And I try to keep it real for you guys. I try to be here for you and help you the best I can. You know, like I say, I am not a pro. I'm just doing what I know, okay? So, with that being said, you know, we'll see you next week with Sampler 2. Can you believe it? I hope I can get some sleep by then. But hey, we'll leave it at that. So, peace out, guys. Take care.